Welcome back to your favorite Sacramento sports show.
Beam City Sports.
We are back live in the studio, live on YouTube and on the radio. Got my boys Luke and Devin with me. Sorry for the late start, boys, but how are we feeling?
Pretty good. Feeling good. My seat is nice and warm after sitting in it for a little bit, but feeling good. Happy to be back in the studio. Happy to see you guys.
Yes, sir. Dev, how you feeling over there?
I mean, feeling good. There's that saying, better late than never. So, we're here. We're ready to get into it. And, I'm feeling especially good. Giants might be back. We'll see. But, yeah, I'm, looking to get into some of this, hopefully exciting Kings offseason.
Yeah, we need some more moves, and that's going to be the main topic of today's show is why we think that the Kings are in the worst spot in the NBA right now and why we need big moves to be made by Scott Perry in the next coming days or before the season starts in a couple months.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dev, the Giants are down 5-0 right now, so not looking too hot for you.
Verlander, bro, don't count.
Yeah, it's a Verlander day. It don't count for the Giants fans.
This might be, maybe his last start.
Ooh.
I mean, they might throw him to the bullpen, but I think they're going to, look to get a starting pitcher, not like a very, very top of the market starting pitcher, but just in case, because Roop and Birdsong, this is as many innings as they've gone.
Yeah.
So,
something has to change.
Might be his last start, and I wouldn't be mad at it. So
yeah.
Let's see.
I'm on the same train with Severino on the A's, man. I really hope that was his last start, the last time he started on the mound. With the A's.
Let's just make him a closer.
At this point, yeah, we have to switch something up.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to be going over a lot of Kings stuff to start the show. Then, of course, Luke's Lock of the Week, ICU, then the rest of trades and free agency news. And then NBA 2K26 cover got announced. It is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Yes, sir.
Not a great cover, though. The cover does not look like they put much effort into it. And, 2K doesn't put a lot of effort into a lot of things these days. So, as a 2K fan, very disappointed in what the cover looks like.
Should have been Nas Reed.
AI allegations, bro. People are saying it's AI.
Oh, yeah.
Besides
definitely look like AI. And I've also seen people be able to recreate that cover in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There's 2 pictures of Al Horford. There's 2 pictures of Luke Cornett in the background. And then it's just Shai driving to the lane, probably going to go to the free throw line. And then the 2K26 at the top. So they didn't put effort into that at all, which is very disappointing. And I just hope the gameplay is a lot better than it's been over the last couple years because it has been falling off. And it just seems like a money grab every year. But everyone knows I'm going to spend that $70 a year and buy that game. And then also spend another $100 to buy VC to upgrade my player and then not even play online that much. So that 2K just knows how to get you every year, especially guys like me and Dev over here.
I can't do it.
I mean, it's fun for about 2 weeks.
2K is not, I think it's a dead game, honestly.
Yeah, man. Go back to NBA Live.
Getting there for sure.
I miss NBA Live. That game was low-key a banger.
Well, we'll see with the
or just
college basketball game that come out.
Need that.
So,
make NBA Jam again.
Yeah, NBA Jam. Let's get some better NBA games because 2K is officially falling off.
Somebody give them some comp. Make them make their game better.
Yeah. All right. Well, going on to the Kings, how we're going to start the show. Jonathan Kuminga has been rumored to be traded to the Sacramento Kings this whole offseason, but it looks like trade talks have stalled out. All 3 parties have not been able to agree on a deal. That's the Warriors, the Kings, and Jonathan Kuminga because he's a free agent. He has to agree to the deal that the Warriors are trying to sign him, and then they're going to have to trade him.
Yeah.
So not all 3 parties can agree. Looks like we've been trying to offer Devin Carter and Dario Saric and
some second
round picks. The Warriors are not budging on that. So who knows what the Kings are going to do. Also, we cannot find any offers for DeMar DeRozan. It looks like nobody wants DeMar. I wouldn't be mad if we keep DeMar and maybe trade him at the deadline or something like that. But it doesn't look like there's a lot of interest in DeMar DeRozan, which is very surprising to me. I mean, he had a great year last year. He was probably our most consistent player all year.
It's definitely surprising. And just the type of player he is, the name he has in the league, the pure scorer he is.
Yeah.
It's really surprising that a young team that doesn't really have anywhere to go doesn't get him. But looking around the league, it's like most of these teams already have their core young guys, and then they have a vet that's kind of teaching them right now.
Yeah.
And then all of that, it's just the contracts. It just does not add up for a lot of people.
The money. It also seems like, the owners and the teams are kind of using the CBA, the new CBA against the players, which they created. So they didn't have to spend a bunch of money, and they can have an excuse when they come to a guy like Jonathan Kuminga. Oh, we can't pay you 30, bro. We're paying Steph and Jimmy now and Draymond. And so they're just using it against them, right? And it's something that they created. So I mean, smart business on their side, I guess. You don't have to like it, but it is smart business move. But yeah, I mean, maybe a contending team, but like I don't see them like wanting to maybe lose a guy to have maybe a year or two of DeMar.
Yeah.
And I think the money is the thing that scares him the most for sure.
Yeah.
Committing over that money. And he is older. You don't know if he's gonna get through 2 full seasons, So we'll see. But I mean, I think it's Zach and DeMar are both like kind of unlikely to me at this point where we're at right now.
Yeah, to get traded.
Yeah.
You don't think either?
Yeah.
I know. It's looking rough because nobody wants Zach LaVine because the contract is just so huge. DeMar doesn't have that big of a contract on Zach LaVine's level, but I think the like national view of DeMar DeRozan is not as good as his actual play, because before we even got DeMar DeRozan last year, I wasn't really a fan of, those rumors, because he likes to back you down. He likes to slow the pace down. He likes to shoot a ton of mid-range shots, which in today's NBA is, not how a lot of teams want to play. But then we saw how good he really is with the Sacramento Kings. And, he can do that on all 30 teams. He's just that good of a player. And I think, a lot of teams that are trying to win right now, I think DeMar would really help put them over the top. But just teams don't want to take the chance of someone, shortening the development of the young guys. Like you said, a lot of guys already have their young guys set and their core ready. And DeMar with that mid-range game, a lot of teams are scared to, make a move for that and give up anything of value. But I think that's, the wrong outlook on it, because he's such a good player and he can score on anyone in the league. He's going to be good on all 30 teams in the league, no matter where you put him. So I think, hopefully DeMar gets some more interest around the league, because he's that good of a player. And I want to see him in a winning situation before his career ends. I don't want to see him, waste his last couple good years in Sacramento where we're trying to be, bottom of the league.
Yeah. And I mean, it sucks because, yes, if you look at it, the Kings are in probably one of the worst positions in the league.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not one of the worst teams, per se.
Oh, no.
Looking at the starting lineup, it's like, all right, there's definitely worse starting lineups out there around the league. So it's just a tough, it's just the future of it. It's definitely downhill, and it's going towards a complete rebuild.
Yeah.
If we can't get rid of these two guys right now.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them.
Yeah, we need to get rid of one, because we've seen so many years of them in Chicago, and they were in the same spot where they were in the worst spot in the NBA because they had Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan on the same team, and now we took that over. So we're in the worse spot than the Bulls are now, and that's saying something.
Yeah,
because they're mediocrity in the East, and we're just even worse in the West.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking back at it, like we've already talked about it, like looking back to the Beam City, or the Beam team. Like the
Shout out Beam City.
the Beam team. Like it's a whole new culture now.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Perry came in, shook up everything. Like when Malik was up in the rumors for getting signed and traded to Detroit.
Yeah.
That was like the signal of the end of the Beam team.
Yeah.
And it's a new type of basketball here in Sacramento, but it sucks.
Yeah, it really does. That's a good way to put it. There's no other way you can look at it besides this is just not a good direction we're going.
No.
We need to get rid of one of those guys, DeMar or Zach. Also with Zach, though, the contract is just so big. And yeah, he had a great year last year. Maybe one of the best years of his career. The shooting percentage, the points per game, all were, up there in career highs for him. But his impact on winning, Scott Perry said it years ago, he just doesn't impact winning. I've seen so many nights where we play a good team and Zach won't show up. Yeah. And then we play the Charlotte Hornets on a random Tuesday and he drops 45 points. And it's just like, we need Zach to either step up and be the guy every night that we know he can be, or it's just time to move on and let him be a third option on Denver and let them, use him to his full advantage where he doesn't have to drop 25 every night.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And it's still crazy that we're looking at going into the season with that whole situation that happened 2 years ago. I mean, it makes you think that they gotta find something to do with him, but I just don't see it. Like nothing, like maybe something pops up later in the offseason where maybe a guy gets traded or like something happens. But I just don't see that, right now. There's not really any openings.
Yeah. I don't know where either of those guys can go at this point, because a lot of the teams that have been rumored to be in talks of wanting either one of those guys they're making moves already.
Yeah, they did.
Say that.
And now they have no room to add a guy like DeMar. I thought he was a perfect fit in Miami. They've already got Norman Powell, which just happened the other day. They traded Norman Powell to Miami, John Collins to the Clippers, and Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson to the Jazz. And yeah, the Kings weren't involved in the trade, but this really brought 3 teams that we thought could be potential suitors for guys we're trying to get rid of with big contracts. And that just, completely makes that not available now.
Yeah.
And it really looks like a report came out that it's leading to realization that the Kings could come back with relatively the same roster as last season. And that is one of the most disappointing things I've heard all year.
It's kind of looking like that might be the plan, because there's 2 ways it goes. We know there's a lot of talent. Like you just said, there's worse starting lineups in the league.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They got good pieces on the bench. We think their rookies are going to come in and make immediate impact, both of them. So, it could go, maybe they go crazy and we have a Cinderella run like the 2023 year, or we're just, really bad again. And hey, hopefully we get a good pick from that. But it's looking like it's going to be one of those 2 options this year.
Yeah. I don't think we're bad enough to get a really good pick or good enough to be a top 8 seed in the playoffs. Like right now we're the 10th seed or 11th seed out west. And that's just the complete last place you want to be. Like that's worse than being the 15th seed. Because you're going to have a chance of getting a generational talent. Yeah. Well, Dennis Schroder was the big move so far this offseason. Scott Perry said he not only a great basketball player, but he's the type of person that we desire to have in this organization. And Scott Perry also said that was their number 1 guy for them in free agency.
Yeah.
Was Dennis Schroder. I like Dennis Schroder, but
me too. I've been giving it a lot of thought. Like I'm not mad at it, but I am disappointed if it is the big move. It kind of just feels like a little, shout out Farhan. It feels like a little, they miss out on Judge and Correa, and they're like, hey, we got AJ Paolo. We gonna bring him back. Like that's just what it feels like. This was our guy. No, it wasn't. We know it's not. But if it is, that's a little disappointing. But I'm not mad at it if they can go out and do something else. And maybe this something else is trading DeMar or Zach, and I'd be less mad.
It's tough to say because when in the position that we were in at the beginning of free agency, first of all, we didn't have much money to give to anybody. So a lot of the names that were on the board just weren't in our budget. They weren't in our grasp. So
they're not coming.
We had to take a step back and be like, all right, who's a guy who's not a superstar but could actually move us forward a little bit. And honestly, thankfully it wasn't Russ because
it still could
still
be.
Might
still could happen.
Which I'd be happy. But I'm just glad that we got Dennis Schroder though, because he's obviously is a better point guard.
Yeah.
Better playmaker, honestly a better scorer right now than Russ.
Oh yeah.
But no, it's I'd say it's a good move just with the position that we were in. And then also making it work to where we gave Detroit $15 million and we were just like, all right, we don't want to give you Malik. We're going to keep Malik.
That was
big.
That
was shout huge. Out that. It also kind of sucks because it's like, I forgot what I was going to say. I'm glad that they got Dennis Schroder and we're not going to, run the Dev Carter experiment back out there for a 4 year. Even, maybe he could come into that. He's going to, run the show in the summer league squad. So, we'll see. Hopefully a Keegan type of summer for him. But
you need that.
I'm just glad that, they have that. And I do think he's going to, that's what I was going to say. I do think it sucks that we're talking about it like this right now because I do think we're going to like him in the way he plays. And I think Doug likes him and is going to like him. And I think he's going to do a lot of good things. And the crowd's going to be behind him every night for sure. Yeah. And I can already see that, but so it kind of just sucks that we're a little disappointed about it right now. That's what I'm saying. If it wasn't the big move, I'd be a lot happier.
Yeah, I definitely love Dennis Schroder's game. Shout out to Alec in the chat, said that's the star point guard. I love Dennis Schroder's game. And like I always bring up, he full court presses every time he plays his heart out. He can facilitate to other guys. Him and Domas will probably have a great 2-man game. He's going to play his heart out. And like Dev said, also heard Matt George say that Kings fans are going to fall in love with Dennis Schroder's game and how hard he plays, and the crowd's going to get behind him and all this stuff. Him and Keon in the backcourt could be very exciting.
Oh yeah,
there was his press conference that he had with the Kings. There was a moment where he was talking about the fans, what's his favorite moment about being in Sacramento playing in the past, and he said every time that Keegan scored and the crowd went Keegan,
that's fire.
He was just I had a smile on my face every time that happened. So I feel like he's going to be able to, be a real point guard and glue these guys together on the court and make it all connect a little bit better. So it is I'm optimistic about it. Obviously, what?
I like Dennis Schroder, but I don't think we're going to be a top 8 seed in the West with this.
I did not say
that. But optimistic, I'm just I don't know where we're going with this. That's the whole point.
I'm optimistic about.
We like Dennis Schroder, and he's going to fit pretty well with the Kings culture and all that. And we love that. But with this team, our ceiling is an 8 seed.
Hey, we got a squad right now.
That's what
hang on. This is the second year of this team, technically.
Yeah.
DeMar's only been here for 1 season.
Yeah.
Zach's been here for half a season. They barely even connected. Domas was out for a lot of that time. Like, this will be the first full season of the team. So they're NBA players. Like, they're going to make it work. Yeah. But it obviously, yes, it's not going to break. We might get lucky if we get 8 seed.
Yeah.
We'll be lucky if we get 8 seed.
You know, I don't think they were really even that bad at the end of the year last year. Like, we're all.
Do you remember that Mavericks game? We were there. We were in the building.
No,
we were in the building for that.
That's what I'm going to get to. Like,
absolutely horrific.
Like, we're like, after the first week or the first couple of games before the All-Star break, we're like, just give him the time or whatever.
We were hyped about Zach.
And I think it showed that after a little bit, like later into the season, it was just too inconsistent. Yeah. Like, one game, it would, like you're saying, Zach would show up against Charlotte. Cleveland would come in. He ain't showing up. So, I mean, it's just way too inconsistent right now. But, I mean, some of those games that they won, they were good wins. I won't lie, but yeah, it's gonna have to get more every night, like happen every game type. Come into the game with the same type of energy.
I'm just tired. I like the Dennis Schroder pickup if we're trying to win now. Shout out to Alex said the Kings are literally the Hawks, except Hawks had a better Cinderella run. I don't know if you're talking about when they made the conference finals, but that Hawks team had Trae Young, and we don't have anyone like Trae Young, a young guy to build around. Our best player. Who's our best player? Sabonis. Yeah. But
wait, is he talking about
DeMar?
years ago?
DeMar's our best player. I agree. I think DeMar is better than Zach LaVine right now.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I mean, and
DeMar can drop 30 against a good team. Zach is going to have 14, and then against Charlotte, he's going to have 45. Like
I'm also putting Domas up above.
Yeah. I mean, I'd say Domas is our best player, but I mean, he's not going to be your guy getting 25 at night. A cool 18 and 12 and 8 from Domas is a great night. We love that. Yeah. We love that. He does that almost every night. I don't know. More about Dennis Schroder though. His comments, more comments. I love the Keegan thing you brought up. That was really fun to hear. But he said to have a GM and organization prioritize me as their point guard means the world to me. I want to give it back and leave it all on the floor and give everything to this organization. I mean, that's what you want to hear.
That's what you want.
That's what you want to hear.
I mean, that's what a good PR like rep does, or good PR does for your player.
I ain't hear Zach say that at the press conference when he got here. I'm just kidding.
Shout out Young Hollywood.
No, I'm just kidding. But that makes me excited. And then I'm like, wait, don't get too excited yet because, we still suck.
It's such a weird position to be in. The depth chart right now is Dennis Schroder starting point guard, Zach LaVine starting at the 2, DeMar at the 3, Keegan at the 4, Sabonis at the 5. Then off the bench, we have Keon and Devin Carter and Malik Monk. So that's 3 guards off the bench that need big minutes. If we want Devin Carter to develop into anything, he needs to play big minutes. And hopefully, like Dev said earlier, we need him to have a huge summer league. I'm trying to believe in it. I don't know if I do yet. We have to see it.
Hey, the shot.
He said he's been putting in work in the point guard. He's never played point guard in his life. He said that. And he's only like 6'2". So he's always been kind of an off guard, like at the 2, but he's good at defense. I mean, he can get rebounds. Obviously in college, he was a big rebounder, but there needs to be some more room for those 3 guys. Cause I need Keon. I want Keon starting next year.
I see us.
I think Keon deserves a start.
Yeah. I mean, at some point.
Or DeMar come off the bench like Devin saying all last year. Put Zach at the 3, Keon at the 2. I don't know.
Wild.
Yeah, that'd be wild.
No. We need to move Keegan back to small forward.
That's what I want to see.
Domas needs to be power forward.
And start Maxime.
And Maxime starts.
I'm down. Or start Drew Eubanks.
Oh, get out of here.
We need immediate show out from Maxime.
Oh, I want that.
24-year-old, he should be able to produce that.
I think he's ready, man.
He's been in the system for a while.
We really got Wemby.
That's what we guarded. That's what we drafted for. Like, it's how we've been drafting for the past few years is like long-term people who have been in college for 3 or 4 years.
They come in ready.
Yeah.
But Devin Carter didn't look that ready last year.
He didn't look ready at all.
He did have that injury, though. That set him back a lot. I wonder how he would have played if he didn't get hurt with that shoulder to begin the year. Because those first couple games, he couldn't score the ball, but we saw the impact.
Oh, yeah.
He came in and played great defense, got a ton of steals. He's very athletic. So
sorry, I got that wrong. I guess Maxime's only 22. I thought he was older.
I think Clifford's 24.
Clifford, Nique.
Yeah.
Shout out Nique. Well, we got some talks in the chat. Schroder about to be on his Brooklyn Nets type of play. Hopefully, I would love that because he was cooking in Brooklyn. He averaged 18 and like 8 assists. in Brooklyn.
Everybody
So
cooks
when
in
he
Brooklyn. Now.
that's facts. When he has the keys, though, it could unlock some things.
Yeah.
I don't know what ceiling that is for our seeding wise in the conference,
Yeah.
but it could make for some exciting games. And I mean, with this lineup right now that we just brought out there, that's a competitive team every night.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you have a chance every night to win, but we know that there's not a real championship ceiling, which should always be the goal as an NBA GM is to get your team to be the best in the league.
Yeah.
And right now, there's no avenue for that.
You know what intrigues me a little bit is we're gonna find out pretty quickly that we're all saying if we had Lonzo, because when DeMar and Zach had Lonzo and they had an actual point guard, hey, they made the play. They was 8 seed.
For
So I mean,
2 months.
yeah. So hopefully, like I think it's gonna work well with everybody, but them two especially, like just get him and knowing when to do it too, not feeding him too much. Let Keegan get some shots, and if Keegan's hitting.
That's what we
Don't
need.
stop passing him the ball.
Yeah.
It makes me excited because if he's, he's an actual point guard and he's going to, that's the nuances about the game he's going to know. He just hit 4 in a row. Let me not even look at him the whole possession. Let me give it to bro, top of the key, and just let him pull.
That's definitely one of my favorite things is Schroeder's has such a great basketball IQ. And last year when we traded De'Aaron Fox, we saw that we didn't have a true point guard in Malik. We all love him, but he doesn't have the basketball instincts to get other guys involved like Dennis Schroeder does.
Yeah.
Dennis Schroeder's been playing point guard his whole life. Malik has been a scorer his whole life. So that makes things a lot different. It's hard to learn that point guard position on the fly in the NBA, the best league in the entire world. It's not going to be easy for anyone.
No.
But I am very happy we kept Malik. That was big. I was very scared when that was in the rumors. That would have been Scott Perry. He would have been having the Luka type riots outside if we traded Malik for Dennis Schroeder.
And then I don't want to speak too soon because it's not too late for him to be traded.
Malik?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, for something else though, depending on what the package is, I wouldn't be completely against it. But if we did do Malik for Dennis Schroeder, that would have been all-time bad move.
Even
bad.
if giving him to the Warriors, that's what I'm glad the Warriors talks did stall out because Scott Perry's like, nah, bro, y'all are not getting monked.
Yeah,
you could take Devin Carter
and
Dario Saric back and couple seconds, bro. Come on, they're not gonna get much more realistically.
Yeah,
like James said something in the group chat about it the other day, and I'm like, that's what they're gonna have to take something like that, whether it's that offer or something else.
Let's keep Devin Carter.
They're looking for a young. They're looking for a young player because I mean th're obviously looking towards the future.
Player.
They're losing Steph at some point in the next 3 or 4 years.
Chill with that.
Dude, he's gonna
he got
retire
good
soon.
too.
Chill. Give me another 5.
I think he's here for 3.
2. I put at 3.
I think 3 more years.
He's already Braun are retiring.
I don't think bro really got the Bro's got more rings than Braun in Braun's era. Same amount, but he don't need to play till he's 40 because he trying to get one up on Jordan or one up on the dude that just passed you in your own era. So
one
I don't
up on
think
Magic.
I don't think maybe a good solid.
But that's my thing. Like they're looking for someone young, so that's why the Kings put out Devin Carter. We don't have any other young guy to really.
Yeah,
I mean, besides Keegan and Keon. But we labeled them untouchable.
Yeah,
Keegan and Keon are untouchable.
I like that, and that's the type of team Scott Perry's trying to build. Obviously, we saw it with the draft picks. It's trying to be a defensive-minded team, and Dennis Schroeder definitely helps, start that movement because putting him at the starting point guard every night is going to help that.
And then, I mean,
but then we also have Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan on the floor at the same time, and we know how bad that defensive lineup is. And not to hate on him, but Sabonis down low is not the answer defensively.
Hey,
maybe at the 4 with Maxime.
Put him at 4.
I would love it.
But I feel like that's what Scott saw immediately when he came in, or he was just looking at us and be like, damn, their defense sucks.
Yeah.
We've been at the bottom of defensive rankings for the past few seasons.
Oh, yeah.
The Kings
our whole life.
Defense our entire life.
Our whole life.
So that's what I feel like that's what he came in and immediately was just like, we need to make moves here.
Yeah.
Like even Jonas too. Like, I mean, I feel like we might have known something going down with that whole Jonas.
Oh, that he wanted to go back.
We'll get into that.
I have a feeling there was something going down and that's why we got rid of him. But even with him being gone, the defense might take a jump because he just fouled all the time.
Yeah,
I liked him, but he was a foul merchant, illegal screen god.
You guys know I was hyped when we got him. I wanted him the whole time.
Yeah,
but I mean now I'm just like, all right.
I was trying to tell you,
he was good against the big men.
Too slow.
He was good against the big men that were
Bron,
the same as him.
Don't worry. We got Maxime.
Oh, we do have Maxime.
But once you get to the stretch bigs and all the new type of bigs, then he was like, you can't keep up, bro.
Yeah,
You're too big, too slow.
Yeah, exactly. Well, all right, let's go. Let's keep going over the depth chart. We said Schroder, Keon, and Dev Carter are the points.
Yep.
Zach LaVine and Malik are the 2 guards. DeMar and Nique Clifford are the 3s. But
Need one more in there.
saw some reports that Nique Clifford is fighting for that backup point guard position.
What?
Yeah, I told you guys he's a point forward, but
That's good.
that's what they're saying about him being the backup point guard for this team. Nique
I
Clifford.
like that.
I mean, get him the ball. I'm down. I
like
believe
that.
in his game, and
Because
he's 6'8", so
he is,
that's big.
Yeah, he is taller than
Or 6'5", sorry.
than Monk and Keon. And if he comes in, runs the point, he could still guard the 3 on defense because you got to put Monk and
You
Keon
can
on
put
the
me,
2 guards.
I'd
But
say just keep him at 3 though.
Yeah,
hey, but if he
like-
can do it,
that's what they're saying. And also yesterday there was, I watched the interviews of him after the training camp and all that, and he said all he was talking about was how he was winning. He won every game in the scrimmages.
That's
Nique Clifford was like, man, it was a good day for me because I was on the winning team every time. and that's all he would bring up. And that's something you love to see, is that he just cares about winning no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And he also hyped up Devin Carter being on his team and how good they work together. So
That's cool.
I mean, it is training camp going against some other summer league guys,
Dev's
so you don't know how good that is, but
Dev's been running as the primary point guard for
I
all
have
of
seen
summer.
that.
So, and then also,
we didn't see that last year at all.
he-
His ball handling was not on par to what a starting
No.
a point guard is.
one of his quotes was, I mean, I've been working on a lot of stuff all
Yeah.
summer, this and that. Blah, blah. I'm like, man, I saw you at a festival in the middle of come on, dude.
Oh yeah,
no
you
going
did see
out.
him at Catriona.
No going out.
call me crazy right now.
Don't say it.
Let me get a couple more wings, bro. But like, I like
Honey
how
bar
kind
for
of
you,
I was just gonna
Ooh.
say I like how the
Lemon pepper.
Magic City.
Hey, the lemon peppers, bro. I like how the lineups are kind of like mirrored. Like now that I think about like if they do like put Nique Clifford backup point guard, then you got Schroder just feeding LaVine, Keegan, and DeMar, and then Sabonis.
Yeah.
And then Nique Clifford doing the same thing for Keon, who could just focus on catch and shoot and play D. For Monk, who could just focus on being the scoring guard of the second unit. And then Maxime, he gonna hit some. He gonna get out there and hit some.
Are we convincing
Windmill
ourselves
dunk on
this
you.
is
I
going to
am
be a
right
really
now.
good
Like, I
team?
really just
I'm not convincing myself.
in the 2 minutes you guys were just talking to each other, I just convinced myself we might be,
we might be
we
kind of
might win the
nice.
chip. No, I'm just kidding.
If we got rid of Zach or DeMar, I'd be completely
It
on
would be a
board with
lot
the
better.
Cinderella type
A lot
run
better.
because we saw how these 2 guys don't fit, and you kind of have to start both of them with the type of players they are. You can't really convince one to go on the bench.
yeah.
Shout out to a generational hater in the chat. Chicago Kings is what he said.
Hey,
We
call me
know.
crazy
We
right
know.
now.
We know. Give us Lonzo. No.
Hey,
But
Nick,
going back over going back over the depth chart still, DeMar and Nique Clifford are the 3s. And we got Keegan and Isaac Jones as the 4. Can Isaac Jones develop into something special here?
He is
As
special.
someone off the
I
bench.
think he's nice.
He's already special.
And,
man.
you
He's
know,
perfect.
Call me crazy. It could be a Quincy AC type of player.
Yeah, I think we
That's
made
a
that.
name.
That's why
Offensive
I kinda want
rebound
another
demon.
wing, is like maybe just in case, but I think he's gonna be good for us. For
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. I think he deserves to play. Keep him in SAC the whole year. I don't want to see him in the G League.
Yeah.
We saw him go
Nah.
crazy in the G League. I think he's ready for that NBA spot and to get 10 minutes a game. And he's going to play hard, catch lobs, and do things that we need.
We
So,
still got
You
Isaiah
forgot
Crawford.
Saric on this depth chart.
oh, he's gone. We don't want Sarge.
Is
I mean-
Crawford still on a G League team, bro? Because listen, give him another
Isaiah
year
Crawford?
or two, and next year he might see some minutes
After
after this year.
if we get rid of everyone, yeah, but
You said Isaiah
I'm
Crawford?
hoping.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd rather see Isaac Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think Isaac Jones is better right now,
Yeah.
which is crazy because he just, they love to tell the story of how he started playing basketball. His homie
Shout
walked
out.
him on at a college, whatever it was. At
Shout
JUCO.
out.
So, but
Yeah.
which is crazy. So
Yeah.
I think he's better right now. But
Yeah.
He's gonna get some minutes. His minutes
Yeah.
are gonna jump for sure.
Yeah.
I see it.
I mean, they better. He
Yeah.
showed a lot in all his minutes last year. We were saying all year, sign him to a real
Sign him to
deal.
a real deal.
And they never did.
No.
They kept him on the 2-way all year.
kind of crazy that Mike Brown actually gave him a couple games of run, and then once he was gone, Doug Christie started playing him more too. So I think he gonna be in the second unit to start the year at
Yeah.
least.
Yeah. IJ.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
100%.
Well, we got some more in the chat. Shout out Generational Hater. How many first round picks are y'all expecting for Sabonis? I did see a
Probably
report
one,
on
bro.
D'Lo and Casey
Two.
that they said all we could get is 1 first round pick
Yeah.
for Sabonis. And at that point, if you can't get a good young player and a good first round pick for it, you might
No
as well
point.
keep him and keep
Yeah.
building around him. I don't, like we said, the ceiling to that is not very high.
Yeah.
But if we can get some young guys around Sabonis, he's one of the best centers in the league. Like he's very underrated still. And people hate on him like crazy. And they say that he can't win and all this stuff. But we saw that the year when we were in the playoffs, he was the second best player on the team.
Yeah.
And he was a big part of that. If we can get someone to pair with him like De'Aaron Fox was, like a little 2-man game, maybe it's Dennis Schroder. Probably not that level, but something could happen.
And maybe at times when him and Maxime are on the court at the same time, where it's like, he doesn't have to do the things that he's not comfortable doing.
Shooting the ball.
Threes, shooting middies.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still like good at it, which is crazy. Like you're okay at it, but you're not comfortable doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of crazy to me, but he's not going to have to do much of that. Damn.
I don't think a lot of teams want him either.
Yeah, no, I think we'd get one first-round pick.
Yeah, I agree. I think all we could get is one first-round pick because a lot of teams, Sabonis isn't your typical center, your rim-running, rim-protecting center, which a lot of teams want. If you have a good team surrounding that, you kind of just want your big man to like fill the spots, like catch lobs, get offensive rebounds, protect the paint. Sabonis doesn't really do a lot of that.
Like Cat.
Yeah. If you're like on that level, then yeah. But Sabonis is really like, we saw his ceiling in that first Beam Team year where he was running the offense. He was doing all those dribble handoffs and all that stuff. And that's him at his best. And I don't know if that is really like the ceiling of that isn't very high.
Nah,
sadly.
No. I just wish he played a little bit more like DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
Like in his prime.
Yeah.
Just that.
He's not that athletic.
He's not that athletic. Yeah. He's not like anything like that.
Yeah.
But like, I mean, neither was DeAndre. Like really, he's just big and got up quick. Like,
shoot. Brandon Jennings begs to differ. That
I think he's really good, like under the basket. He's just not that aggressive. Like he doesn't do like I think it's something where he could do it multiple times, like in a row going down the court.
But do we really want Sabonis post ups every single not lot?
Every time, but
like DeMarcus type level? No.
I think he's as good as DeMarcus.
He's not.
I think he can
DeMarcus
score.
I don't think
the greatest king center of all time.
When he's being aggressive,
one of
like
the greatest kings of all time.
And DeMarcus wanted the ball on the perimeter, and he had way more of a handle than Sabonis. He made Gordon Hayward touch the earth when I was at the game before, and he could shoot the three way better than Sabonis.
I'm not saying he's a better player than DeMarcus, bro.
Don't.
DeMarcus my second favorite king of all time.
He's as good as posting up.
Posting up, he can score as efficient as DeMarcus used to, and DeMarcus used to be really good at it. Maybe he wasn't that good at it. We just had nobody else to score. Bro did it every time.
DeMarcus was able to go both ways.
DeMarcus had a bag in the post. DeMarcus was different in the post.
Why am I hating on Sabonis? Right,
we love Sabonis.
I've seen games where he's came out aggressive, like the game against the Rockets this year, the first game where he came out and put up 12 points in the first quarter.
I remember that.
He was just getting the ball.
I remember that.
Get off me, bro. I would like to see that a little bit more.
Yeah, I definitely remember that game. And I mean, like we said, the inconsistency with this team. Yeah, it's one night Sabonis is going to look aggressive, and then the next night he's going to have 8 points on 2 of 4 field goals.
Yeah,
like everything.
It's just we need to get some more consistency on this team, and I think Dennis Schroder helps that. But we still have to go over all 30 NBA teams and determine if anyone is in a worse position than the Sacramento Kings.
I think there's like 3 that are maybe.
Well, I mean, there's not a lot of teams. We can start up top. I mean, the good teams, obviously, OKC, Houston, Denver, Minnesota, Lakers, Warriors. I'm starting out west. Give me a team that might be as bad in a bad. Yeah, the Suns. That's a really good one, actually.
That's a low key one.
At least we don't have to deal with Bradley Beal. That's big.
Suns and maybe the Wizards and Hornets.
I think the Wizards and Hornets.
Actually, no, the Wizards just made.
Yeah, the Wizards have like 8 guys under 23 years old.
Yeah. The Wizards, and then they just got Cam Whitmore too.
Yeah, they just got Cam Whitmore, so that's a big.
Maybe I take that back. Maybe the Sixers, honestly.
The Pacers,
maybe
with Howley being out and Miles Turner leaving for nothing.
Yeah, the Pacers.
They were just in the finals, though. We can't disrespect.
But honestly, the Sixers, dude. Even with Embiid, even with like Paul.
Sixers.
I mean, I can't even really mention Paul George, but like Tyrese Maxey, like great point guard and everything, but he's not like. He's a 1B type of point guard.
Yeah, but they did just get VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah, but
which could be something.
I don't think he's gonna. Yeah, he's gonna be special, but I don't think he's gonna make an immediate impact like that. I think
year one. Yeah,
I think the Sixers.
They also have Joel Embiid, which is if he's healthy, he's a top 5 player in the league.
Yeah, but he
just won MVP like 2 years ago.
I just don't think they're in a good. But I think Embiid's gonna be gone.
I think the Sixers have a chance of winning the East this year. Kings have a 0% chance of winning the West.
I don't
this
think
year.
the Sixers come close to winning the East.
I think they do. Who out East are you scared of besides New York?
Pistons are going to beat them.
Pistons.
Magic are going to beat them.
But if the Sixers are fully healthy, no one on those teams are stopping Joel Embiid. And they have Jared McCain. Don't forget about him. The Kings would do anything to get Jared McCain, and we could have drafted him.
No, Sixers are in a fine position, but I just don't see them winning. They're not going to win the East.
I mean,
they're not a playoff team.
I'm not a believer. I'm not saying I'm picking them to win the East, but they're. If I had to pick 4 teams who might win the East, they're in there for me.
Utah.
They
just traded John Collins for some young talent.
Bryce Sensabaugh's been cooking.
Jazz are also probably one of the new teams to maybe land Kuminga, because
I can see that.
First they just opened up
give the Warriors glory.
Well, they opened up like 15, 16 million and
for trading,
and then they also have what's that 21 Taylor Hendricks.
Yeah, he got hurt last year, but he's actually really good.
Yeah, this is crazy.
They have a ton more young guys than we do.
They have a lot.
We have Nique Clifford, Keon, Devin Carter, and Maxime Raynaud.
They have a ton of young guys. I don't think they're going to be good
Keegan.
this year.
Yeah.
They might be buns this year.
I don't think they're going to be good, but they're going in a better direction than the Kings. Next year, the Jazz are trying to get that number 1 pick because the guy at BYU, AJ, they didn't get it.
I know, but they've been trying the last 3 years.
Oh, they've been trying for the last 8. But also before we move on, generational hater back in the chat says the Spurs are going to stink. Man, oh man, do I hope that happens.
That's a bold take.
I am officially rooting hardcore against De'Aaron Fox.
That's tough.
Call me a hater. I'm on board with you, generational hater. I hope the Spurs don't make the playoffs this year. It's going to be tough. They're going to be nice. I mean, Wemby is going to be the best player in the league in 2 years max. And
Spurs are going to make it.
I like Dylan Harper's game. My hope. Talking to my brother yesterday about it, and he kind of put this in my head. So shout out to him. But he said that he thinks that the Spurs. He hopes that all this De'Aaron stuff blows up in his face, and that the Spurs end up trading De'Aaron Fox and they build around Dylan Harper and Castle and all those guys. Dude, they drafted Dylan Harper.
Dude, in 2 years they might
Fox
do that.
Deserves it for the NFT scam.
Dude, that was like 8 years ago, bro.
Shout out.
We're still hating. Talk about this. We're still hating. Funny.
We're still hating. But yeah, I hope it blows up in his face. I hope it blows up.
Type of funny because Mikey Williams just did like something like that, and everybody was like, "Bro, don't do it, bro." In the comments, delete this,
dude. That stuff made me so irritated when all those guys were doing that.
I didn't even know what it was. Good thing I didn't have my own money to. You
loved De'Aaron so much. You would have been like, "Oh, I'm buying that. I'm buying that." Yeah, no. I hope the Spurs don't win, but they're really good.
I hope they don't win
and they just got Kelly Olynyk.
They're in the West.
That might put them over the top. No,
Kelly
Olynyk might put them over the top.
He's nice, man.
He is nice.
Yeah, I mean, in 2 years they might do that. I mean, I'm not saying this. They could.
Yeah, Kings are in the worst position.
Probably be smart to do that in 2 years.
Yeah,
the Spurs to trade De'Aaron if he's still got, if he has a good couple years.
But that's going to be bad for him because De'Aaron pushed to go to San Antonio, wanted to be this.
He just built a whole sports facility out there and everything.
I don't care what he wants.
Yeah, I don't either. Let's get him out.
I'm just saying, Spurs will be.
I hope Dylan Harper's a star. And De'Aaron has to get moved or put on the bench or something.
Watch bro win MVP this year.
Fox got surgery.
Call me a hater.
His hand's going to be better. Fox is going to be.
Watch bro go to San Antonio. He going to get the Shai whistle. Even if he gets like half of the Shai whistle, bro, he going to average 30.
30? No. Yeah. Wemby's not letting that happen. Wemby's not going to let him average 30. There's no way.
Give me rock.
Give me the rock. All right. Well, some other teams. I'm going out east. Chicago Bulls. Are they in a worse position than the Sacramento Kings?
Actually, yes.
Really?
Quite possible.
We might be about same.
It might be the same.
They barely have any draft picks. They got to get rid of Vucevic.
Yeah, Vucevic is the guy. What did they get
for Lonzo?
Isaac Okoro.
Yeah.
Mid.
Yeah.
But they have Matas Buzelis, who could be a star. Yeah. I don't know.
Showed some flashes last year.
Damn, his name is not lying. He really is a generational hater. He said, Wemby going to be out another season. He cut from the same cloth as AD. Shout out.
Like the Spurs?
I'm not going to hate on Wemby.
Me
but Wemby has been he's been hanging with the monks, so he might be locked in.
So funny.
He might be locked
soccer,
in. Yeah.
And he
that bicycle kick.
And they were like, what are you doing?
The Spurs had a heart attack watching that, for sure. But back to the Bulls. They have Matas Buzelis, who I'm a big fan of. Josh Giddey, still really young. He's still not signed yet, but I mean he's restricted free agent, so they're waiting on other offers.
They'll get him.
But yeah, I feel like the Kings are more wrapped up in bad contracts than the Bulls are now. because of DeMar and Zach.
Yeah.
That's my only take on it. And I mean, we both don't really have a lot of young guys to build around, but Chicago, I don't know. I mean, we're kind of in the same spot. We're the
I
Chicago
think it's
Kings.
the same. Yeah, it's the
Chicago
same thing.
Kings, Sacramento Bulls, whatever you want to say, we're on the same tier.
It really is the same thing.
Another team that I came up with is the Toronto Raptors. They might be in a bad spot.
Yeah, what are they doing?
They're paying over $30 million a year for Emmanuel Quickly, over $28 million a year for RJ Barrett. They also have Brandon Ingram. Who, shout out Ingram. They have Scotty Barnes, and they just drafted Kyler Murray Boyles, who's the same position as all those guys. And they just
Murray?
Yeah, that's his name, right? No,
That's
not
his name?
Kyler Murray.
I know, I'm just messing with you, but like that's crazy. He's got similar.
And then they just signed Jakob Poeltl.
They
to
re-signed him
to a 4-year,
extended.
$84 million contract.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, he was good.
I mean, he's solid, but they don't really have like they're paying these guys way more than like the Kings are paying for their starting five.
I don't know what they doing.
And they're not going to be a good team. They might be a top 8 seed out west, and that might put them over the Kings a little bit, but I don't know where they're going. They should have drafted the guy from Duke, the center, because they needed a center, Malawach. They had a chance, and that seemed like a Raptors type of fit, and they didn't do it.
And
So
they got Jakob.
They got Jakob, I guess. They're dealing with their boy Jakob. Any other teams that could be in a worse spot? Phoenix was a really good one.
We got Phoenix, Toronto,
Portland. Portland.
No.
They just got the next Jokic, so they might be tough.
They're going to be decent.
They got the next Jokic.
They also have a really good young squad that was catching fire at the end of last year.
Yeah, they and Kamara. I love Kamara. But the Pelicans, last team we're going to talk about.
They're in a great position.
Yeah.
Zero fears. The Pelicans are going to be good this year.
Yeah, they got Jordan Poole.
Oh, my bad.
I mean, I like
Looney.
Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy might average.
Yeah, Kevon Looney.
Shout out Kevon. Yeah, so there's not a lot of teams that are in a worse spot than the Kings, arguably not any. So it's tough. Hopefully we see some moves before this offseason ends, because I do not want to go into the season with this roster right now. It went over. Even though you guys did convince yourselves that could be kind of nice. The center rotation, though, Sabonis, Raynaud, and Eubanks. I hope Raynaud takes that starting spot, moves Sabonis to the 4, Keegan to the 3, Keon at the 2, Schroder at the 1. Also came out that Dennis Schroder could be just a bridge type of move where we're trying to just have him for a year and then trade him in the future, which I definitely wouldn't be surprised about.
I would hate it if we did that.
I
honestly.
mean, we probably could get some value out of him, so who knows?
I would feel bad for him. I would. Yeah. I mean,
true.
I would also look at us and be like, all right, who would we get for him? There's nothing. He's at some point in his career right now where like his value's pretty much gone.
Well, if he has a good year,
he's going
to lead point guard all year this year, and if he has a good year,
average 18,
if we do trade him, like it will take a whole year, but I don't think we won't get a pick for Schroder.
But
no,
but that's
not
only if
like we're talking about like the NBA, like the rest of the NBA right now, and the positions that they're in. Nobody in the league will want Schroder.
4 teams wanted him last year.
Well, I mean,
at different times.
Yeah.
No,
they're just, that's the thing. Traded 4 times in 1 year.
Yeah.
At some point, like it
sucks.
Dude's gonna settle.
I mean,
that.
he had a good year though. He was good in the playoffs too. Yes. He was good.
I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be here for his contract. We will be his his longest team, I think.
That's only if Dev Carter has
Atlanta.
a crazy year and emerges as an actual point guard. Then you're thinking about that. But even next year, I don't really think you're thinking about that if we still have no point guard.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Well, before we move on from the Sacramento Kings, we spent 43 minutes talking about the Kings, and we're not done
crazy.
yet. I did not expect it to take that long on the Kings, but we're here. Before we move on, can you guys guess who scored the most points versus the Sacramento Kings last season?
Anthony Edwards.
That's
my guess.
Anthony Edwards is he's down there.
Oh, what?
He's number 9.
Oh.
With 42 points.
McCollum.
You're cheating.
Or no, 36 points. My bad. I was looking at minutes. So Anthony Edwards is number 9 from last year with 36 points. And that was the game that we were at against De'Aaron with the
not
6
all season. It's just one game.
Just in the one game. Who scored the most points in one game against the Kings this year?
Aaron Wiggins.
Aaron Wiggins is number 3 with 41 points in the game.
Can I get a hint?
Yeah. Well, I was at the game.
West Coast, East Coast.
I was at the game where West Conference. And I was at the game where this player had this many points, and the Kings actually won this game.
Dallas Mavericks?
No. Okay, well, the second guy in second is a Kings killer for
CJ.
life. CJ McCollum had
McCollum.
43 points in New Orleans.
3 times.
Definitely remember that. Yeah, he
I was
had
thinking
he was number 8 on the list as well with 38. But he had 43 points, but someone had 44 points against the
Whoa.
Kings in Sacramento, and I was at the
Won?
game where the Kings won. This guy switched teams this offseason.
to where?
He went from the West to the East.
West to the east.
Anyone in the chat, can you guess who had the
KD?
most points? No.
West to the
He
east.
stayed out west.
Oh, yeah.
Who had the most points versus the Kings this year?
I can't.
It was on March 17th. I was in the building for this game
What position?
with my girl Tay. I was in the
What
building.
position?
Shooting guard.
Shooting guard. Move
They
to
had a
the
lot of
east.
injuries in this game, and the Kings were
Shooting guard.
cooking.
Here,
It's
I
one
can
of your
only-
favorite players, and one of your least favorite players.
Oh,
Desmond Bane.
Desmond Bane had 44 points against the Kings.
Now I remember that.
Dude. Wait, was I there with you?
I was there with Taylor, so
I-
I don't.
it
Yeah,
was
you
up-
were
yeah,
there.
I
You
was
were
there.
there. You were there. Yeah, yeah. That's. He said Norman Powell. No. Desmond Bane. Yeah,
Desmond
Desmond Bane
Bane.
had 44 points on March 17th against the Kings.
Damn.
Yeah,
Dude,
so
yeah, he was hitting.
how many
He
can we
was-
guess? How many can we guess? You got CJ at number 2 with 43. Aaron Wiggins at number 3 with 41. The fourth one is very surprising. The only other guy to score 40 against the Kings this year.
PJ.
No. It's a power forward who's always in the drama.
Draymond?
No.
Draymond,
Draymond
40
with
against this,
40?
I'd go somewhere.
Who's in the
might be
drama?
smoking. This guy's always in the drama. Can never keep his weight down.
Oh, Zion?
Yeah, Zion.
I do
Williamson.
remember that.
I
I was
gave it
gonna
away.
say Zion. but I was
Zion
just
Williamson.
like-
So the
If he keeps
Pelicans
his weight
always
down.
kill the Kings, man.
Yeah.
CJ's number 2, Zion number 4, and number 5 is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with 37. But number 6 is very surprising. I don't know. The hint I give will give it away. But it is a shooting guard that
Clay?
last year got traded from the East to out West.
Shooting guard.
Shooting-
Jimmy?
Shooting guard. They got traded from the East
That's a
last year,
shooting
midway through, out West. Now he's still out West on a very mid team out West. Very mid team
Dude.
out West. Don't look it up. Number 6. He scored 36 points against the Kings on January 12th in Sacramento.
Buddy Hield.
No, this might have been what convinced Vivek.
Oh, Zach.
It's Zach
Zach
LaVine.
LaVine.
Zach
lost
LaVine
that game.
scored
we
36
lost to the
points.
Bulls at home
We
that
did.
game.
Oh yeah.
We did. Zach LaVine scored 36 points against the Kings in on January 12th.
I do remember that.
I do remember that too. He also had 10 boards. Where is that when you're on the
You're
Kings,
flooding
Zach?
me with bad memories right now, bro.
Where is that when you're actually on the Kings, Zach? He had 36 and 10 rebounds in 38 minutes.
That's so
Killing.
Had all this
So
trauma
bad.
blocked out.
Killing. All right, well, moving on from the Kings. Jonas Valanciunas, like Luke brought up earlier, Denver has informed Jonas that they fully intend to have him honor his contract as the Nuggets view Valanciunas as a critical center addition to back up
Of
Jokic.
course.
So Jonas wanted to go back overseas, and it's looking like it's not going to happen because they're making him honor the contract.
You can't
Hey.
make him. If he retires, you can dip.
I don't know though. He's signed.
You can retire mid-contract if you wanted to.
You
From
can
the NBA.
retire mid-contract. Are you going to get paid that money?
No, you have to. You
Oh.
defer the money.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
Gronk did it so he didn't have to go to like the
He didn't want to go to
Dolphins or
Detroit.
something. Detroit.
And then he came
yeah.
back out of retirement.
Yeah.
He came back.
Shout
yeah.
out Gronk. But yeah, Jonas looks like he's
pretty
gonna
sure-
play in Denver next year.
I'm pretty sure you can't stop someone from retiring. Like,
Bro,
I don't think you can either. But if he's gonna go sign a different contract out,
if
In the
it's-
Greek-
if it's under a contract, if it's under his contract, like where you can't sign
sign
for
another
anybody else,
contract, yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense. But I mean, I'm pretty sure. What's the guy that we drafted? The European MVP that
we
Sasha?
really, we
Sasha
really did it twice,
Vezenkov.
bro.
Valanciunas can't sign with another team if he retires.
you can't.
He can't sign even with like a Greek team. That's what they're saying.
That's kind of
okay.
oh damn yeah.
So
But
yeah, shout out Denver. Make him
Of
honor
course
that.
they want him,
Yeah,
bro.
shout
He's-
out.
That's a good pickup.
Play 10 minutes a night behind Jokic. That's all
It's
you got
just
to
crazy
do.
that we made guys 2 years in a row.
Have some
wanna go
illegal
back to the
screens.
EuroLeague.
You're gonna see a lot of legal screens in those
I
10
don't know.
minutes.
I think you just got to bite the bullet, let
Yeah.
the man live.
Yeah,
Let the man live.
Denver is trying to win a championship next year. So
The thing is,
That could
like,
be a
if
big
you
part.
force someone to play, they're not going to play good basketball.
I think Jonas would play pretty good in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Once
but
you get
I'm just
acclimated with the
saying,
team,
like,
it's hard to just like not play as hard as you can.
But he could have just lost the spirit. He lost maybe he
Jimmy
wants to
lost
go.
his
That's a good point.
joy.
He wants to go back home. He wants to go
He
back
lost
home
his
and
joy.
play.
Why wouldn't he want to go play behind Jokic and earn that much money, $10 million a year to play 10 minutes a game? That
'Cause,
sounds like a dream come true.
The Greek team is offering him $13 million.
Okay. Oh, an
Yeah.
extra $3 million, and he's probably going back home. So that makes
Yeah.
sense. All
That
right.
extra
Well,
$3 million. Jake LaRavia know a lot about that.
wow. Fake.
POS.
Fake. Shout out Jackson posting that too on the story. I was pissed.
Yeah,
Dude,
shut
he
up.
looks so bad in Lakers.
I'm not
colors.
ready to see him in that purple and gold.
Sorry, Jake. You look so bad in that. hat,
Man,
Stupid
don't like
haircut,
seeing
haircut,
that.
too.
Stupid haircut.
I wasn't gonna hit him on that much.
All right. Well, Paolo got extended. He agreed to a 5-year max rookie contract
Yay.
extension that could reach $287 million.
Looks like a week.
Shout out, looks like the
Paolo.
week.
I was gonna say
Lock
Paolo
of the week.
is
Paolo.
Paolo and Carroll getting that.
Paolo.
Yeah, no, it's huge right there. The Orlando Magic are in the best position, I think, in the NBA.
One of them for sure.
Yes.
Um,
They also,
This cements the core of Paolo Franz and Jalen Suggs. They're
then
under contract for the next 5 years.
Mo also just re-signed.
Shout
too.
out Mo.
Yeah.
He's a bucket. I love Mo.
Mo Bamba?
Nope. Mo
Oh.
Wagner.
Oh.
Mo Wagner.
Just
We're getting a lot in the chat.
And then-
Nuggets are entirely cooked if their season hinges on Valanciunas. If you close your eyes and imagine him, you will see a faint image of him doing a singular frustration clap before inbounding the ball after he
That's
gives up a
funny.
wide open lane to the basket. We saw that a lot.
That's funny.
I mean, if he buys in over there in Denver, I low key got them winning the chip. I'm saying they're getting another.
I mean, I don't think it.
Bruce
I
Brown,
don't think
Cam
it's-
Johnson.
I think Houston might beat them in the Western Conference Finals.
Ooh, where's OKC though? We can't just say OKC's done.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, I'm down, but
I
they're
can
probably
say that's
not.
a one and done rule.
It's probably OKC, Denver,
No,
Western
I
Conference
don't-
Finals.
I don't see another back-to-back championship.
No,
like,
I don't
for
either.
a
I don't
long
either.
time.
Yeah, I'm picking Denver.
I don't think their season really hinges on Valanciunas. I mean, would they like to have him?
Dude, they have
Yeah,
the
that's why they
best player
signed
in the
him.
league. It
Yeah,
definitely does
and
not.
then
They
they got
always
Cam
have
Johnson.
the worst plus minus when Jokic is out of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They have
that's
the-
why they want
Yeah,
Valanciunas.
exactly.
So
Again,
bad.
the greatest player in the league.
Yeah, he is. He
And
really
you
is.
upgrade MPJ to Cam. I mean, it doesn't hinge on Valanciunas, but you want, it's kind of the same. It's like our thinking. It's kind of the same type of center play when your main center goes out of the game.
Yeah,
and it
for
did
sure.
good for a little bit.
Yeah, I
For a
mean,
little bit.
we were buying in the first couple games to how
Little bit.
tough Valanciunas is. We were like, oh, the Kings have never had a center like Valanciunas.
A little bit.
and then we see the bad parts
Yeah.
of why he shouldn't be on the Kings.
Yeah.
Well, my ICU pick, talked about him already, is Bryce Sensabaugh. He's been going crazy in the summer league for the Utah Jazz. I don't even think he should be playing in the summer league anymore. He had 37 points the other night on 9 of 14 field goals, 6 of 9 from the 3. He is an
Nice.
absolute bucket. Also, shout out to Darius Baisley from the Lakers. Shout out Jackson, posted him. He had a big game last night too. He'll probably make that roster. I would not be surprised.
Honestly, have had to not watch any basketball.
No, I'm
because
not tuned into summer league.
yeah, I
that's for sure.
needed a little just like
Summer
I don't
league
need to
for me
watch it.
doesn't start till it gets to Vegas.
Yeah.
and I do
Yeah,
wish we
yeah.
were going to Vegas.
I wish.
Wait, let me. What are we doing in San Francisco? Why was that arena empty the other day for the California Classic games? Right? What are we doing? And I saw somebody,
Price out the real fans, probably.
because
Summer League.
shout out
Something.
Kenny Caraway he tweeted it.
I did see
and that's
that.
why I saw that.
I
And
saw that.
somebody from the Bay like quote tweeted, and they were like, they weren't selling tickets today. And then he retweeted that and was like, because they knew nobody was gonna
Yeah,
come. Bro.
yeah.
No, but like that's like, it just looked weird, bro. It's kind of crappy. Like when it was in SAC, bro, we
People-
didn't know nobody. We'd
people
go to the
went.
Yeah.
non-Kings games. We go to the
No,
Warriors.
we went to all
games.
4 of those games.
You
Yeah.
go to the Chinese games.
Oh,
that were coming too,
I went last
like,
year to that. Actually,
You know what
wow.
I'm liking it to?
That was the first time I met Deuce
It's like an
Oh, yeah.
MLB
at the
player
California
Yeah.
Classic.
making their debut at Sutter Health.
Yeah.
It's
Aw,
like the
don't do that.
NBA players'
Don't do
first
that.
taste of NBA, and they got no fans in there. It's like COVID.
There's fans for the A's.
There was
bro.
a-
don't
well,
hate.
No, I'm just. It's tomato. But
Yeah.
No, I just think that sucked. Bro. Bring it
Yeah.
back to SAC.
Bring it back to SAC. I don't know why it wasn't in SAC, but
We didn't want to do it this year.
Maybe next year.
we did
Vivek said we're too close to the luxury
We
tax,
were
bro.
too close. Can't go over. All right. Well, before we end the show, some other trades. Kelly Olynyk is heading to the Spurs for Malachi Branham, Blake
Kelly.
Wesley, and a 2nd-round pick. Yeah, that's actually a good move for the Spurs. I like what they're doing. Get a backup big. Couldn't play with Wemby without Wemby.
Mhm.
So shout out.
Gave him the bag too.
Yeah. Kelly
a
Olynyk's
bag.
always getting a bag.
At the same rate.
The Memphis Grizzlies traded Jay Huff, one of my favorite backup bigs in the league, to the Indiana Pacers for a second-round pick and a second-round pick swap. I think Jay Huff will start at the center position for the Pacers next year. Seems like a Pacers type of guy.
Good move for the Pacers.
He's a Pacers type of guy.
They needed to make something like that.
He shot 40% from 3 last year, and every time he has an open lane, do you know what Jay Huff does?
Pass.
What is he famous for? No. He gets up there, but what does he do? His signature dunk. Come on.
East Bay.
No, it's reverse. Anytime he has an open lane, he does a reverse. Yeah, he'll be on the fast break and he'll make it a reverse dunk because that's his thing. That's his game.
Hey, that's cool.
Shout out Jay Huff, man. And he can shoot, man. I thought Memphis was going to keep him and play him a lot, but Pacers needed a big. Shout out Miles Turner leaving. So they needed someone. That was big.
I would not give shout out to Miles Turner.
Yeah, I'm take that back. I don't really like what he did there. Yeah. I mean, he got the bag. So
and then also I don't think
respect.
Well, I mean, I guess it goes back to the Pacers too. I don't think they offered him.
They didn't offer him enough.
I hope you dropped your Legos.
You break all your Legos.
Dude, I guarantee he broke one of them.
Yeah, come on. There's no way. He had so many.
The big old Titanic one, that's cooked, bro. Yeah. You're not moving that.
There's no way.
Without taking it apart.
That's absolutely cooked. The Houston Rockets are trading Cam Whitmore to the Washington Wizards for 2 second-round picks. So, yeah, shout out to the Wizards. I think Cam Whitmore is a really good player, but I don't know if there's, Wizards are a team you want to see a young guy traded to, but I actually don't know if there's a lot of opportunity over there for him.
You don't know?
I don't think there's
I think he's going to get quite a bit of opportunity.
I don't think he's going to play that many minutes.
Bro, there's nobody, like, their whole team is old.
Who they got?
They got an old squad.
I don't even know who's on the Wizards.
They got Chris Middleton. They got CJ McCollum.
They got
they have a ton of guys.
It's all old, though.
What kind of squad the Wizards?
Marcus Smart.
But they have
old.
They have like 8 guys under 23 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like they don't have
Marcus
enough
Smart.
For power forward. Like, yeah, they got the SAR. Like, yeah, amazing. But, I mean, everybody else, I think he's going to be a good fit.
There are a lot of guys who I would like to see play over Cam Whitmore on this team.
Everybody who got traded last year, and then, like, randoms.
They have
that's what their roster looks like.
Bilal Coulibaly is definitely one of their best players.
Yeah.
Bilal, shout out to Bilal. He's definitely one of their best players. Need to see him play over Cam Whitmore. I'd like to see AJ Johnson play over Cam Whitmore, who they got from the Bucks last year. I'd also like to see Bub Carrington play over Cam Whitmore, who's a stud young point guard. They drafted him last year. Trey Johnson, the rookie they just picked at number 5. Obviously, he's going to play over Cam Whitmore. Keyshawn George, also who they picked last year, had a great year for them as a wing.
So what you're
want to see him?
I think he's going to be fine over there.
Alex Sarr,
obviously, like he won't.
Rashawn Holmes. No, I'm just kidding.
Rashawn
on the roster
over there, but like
Corey Kispert, Will Riley, who they just drafted.
Wizards.
That's about it.
Whitmore, bro.
And then Cam Whitmore falls in, but there's a lot of guys, and that's not even mentioning the vets. That's not even mentioning the vets.
How many picks did they?
Barely. Like,
he might be the 13th guy on that roster.
No,
which is sad because I think he's a really good player.
Scott Perry, call him up, tell him you give him 2 seconds.
That's what
back
I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying. We should have got Cam Whitmore. We need a backup 3 or 4.
Tell him you give him 2 seconds plus 2 more seconds. So really, you giving them 4 seconds. 30 seconds back.
Cam Whitmore does not fit what we're trying to do, though. That's probably why we didn't do it, because he doesn't play defense and all he does is shoot the ball. Anytime he gets the ball, he has that Michael Porter Jr. syndrome.
Then I don't want, bro.
Pass.
You're not on my squad.
Just get the rebound.
Pass.
Just get the rebound. No, I think the Wizards have something going over there. Definitely in a better spot.
Maybe they trade him again. I don't know.
I don't see the Wizards being good.
No, I don't see them being good, but give it 2 years after they get AJ, and they're going to be nice. They're going to be tough.
Man. I just don't see them being a good basketball team. I've never seen them be a good basketball team.
Hey, shout out John Wall.
Hey, John Wall?
Yeah, we saw them be a little.
They weren't even
good.
that good.
Yeah, they were like 7.
They were in the playoffs every year. For a while. Yeah, most of the time.
Hey, they had to play LeBron.
They had to pay Braun. Yeah, that's unfair. And Jeff Teague in Atlanta. They had to play them.
Braun leaves. They got to play Kawhi.
Hey, what happened with Paul Pierce though? What'd he do?
He called game
against the Hawks. He called game. All right. Before we end the show, Dev, give me a little Giants update. Who made the All-Star team for the Giants? Because I think Logan Webb,
Robbie Ray, and Randy Rodriguez.
Shout out Robbie Ray. What a good year for him.
Yeah, he's having a good year. This is his second time. Webb's second time. He could have gone last year.
Randy Rodriguez, probably one of the best relievers.
Time, yeah. I mean, I honestly wasn't expecting him to get in there because, it goes starting pitchers and then, the closers on all the best teams.
Yeah.
But I think it is cool how Major League Baseball kind of rewarded him for that.
Yeah.
But Robbie Ray's lined up to pitch on Sunday against the Dodgers last game of the series, so he won't pitch in the All-Star game.
Good.
So they'll probably replace it. Well, I don't know if they're going to replace him with someone else from the Giants or just like another NL All-Star, but he's still going to be there and be recognized as one. But
That's good.
that's what Webb did his first time he didn't get to pitch because he pitched the day.
Who's starting for the NL? Is that out yet? No, right? The pitcher?
Probably.
I think the starters are out.
Yeah,
I just don't
starters
know.
are out.
I don't
who
think
they're
the
gonna
starting
start.
pitching.
No, the
Yeah.
starting pitcher is an
Yeah, I don't think the
okay.
starting pitcher's out. That's what I was wondering.
It'll probably be Paul Skeens.
Probably, yeah.
And then Tariq in the
Ooh.
Scooble in the AL. That's gonna be sick.
That'd be
two
pretty
innings.
fire. That'd be pretty fire.
But yeah, they
No hitters for the Giants, though. Rafi didn't make it. Huh?
no Rafi Devers didn't make
Definitely didn't deserve it.
and I wasn't really expecting any hitters to
Yeah.
make it. Maybe Ramos, but he kind of the last couple of weeks is, kind of quieted down. Which he's been good all year up until this point, so I'm not really worried about that. But mostly, I'm just excited that the hitters get the break,
Yeah.
and then Logan Webb's gonna throw an inning, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
Randy Rodriguez might get to throw to a couple batters, that'll be fine. But I'm glad that most of the guys are getting the break because they've been pushing. They've won, I haven't watched one comfortable game over the last 3 months.
Yeah.
They have 21 one-run game wins. And they had that crazy stretch a couple weeks ago. There were 8 of 9 games were won by run. So it's a lot of stressful games.
Yeah.
So I'm glad for the break, and the players definitely need it. Rafael Devers should be playing first when they get back to Toronto after the break.
He did your boy Will Clark dirty, though. I'm not going to get too mad.
Yeah, I saw that, and I don't really care.
Yeah.
I mean, the Red Sox the Red Sox employees gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna push out same thing that I don't think Nico Harrison did it to that extent, but kind of slander a guy on his way out because it makes you look better, especially when it's a guy like Luka or Rafael Devers.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he didn't go. And I think Will Clark said he was like, I didn't care. It's probably because he didn't want to do it right in front of the Red Sox dugout. I don't care. He's literally there posting videos of him and Wilmer taking ground balls at first every day.
Okay.
So I don't really care about that.
Yeah.
He's going to come back and play first in Toronto once he's healthy.
Yeah.
He got the groin, so the week will be good for him. But yeah, I mean, they're probably going to lose today. I think last time I checked it was 11-0.
Oh,
so
shout out.
yeah, Giants lost 13-0.
Oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll close out on that.
But big series coming up against the Dodgers. That I'm excited for.
Oh, that'll be big.
Also, sorry, Tyler, on your bet.
I lost my bet to Dev.
Oh, yeah. It was looking
Talking
scary
about that on
first
Believe in
game.
A's, but yeah.
It was looking scary.
I definitely lost that bet to Dev once again, second time this year. But yeah, we're going to close out on that. Beam City Sports. Tune back in on Sunday for a bar episode. We will be back. Go subscribe.
Cheers.
Thank you for joining in.
Thank you.